Summer 2022 Kyolche. It's the first Kyolche in 3 years that we could sort of completely open up with minor restrictions. And I think over 50 people participated from 15 different countries. So that's a little closer to what we used to have. And I think it's very wonderful. Zen Master Musangsa created these situations that his students have recreated many places in the world where we just throw everybody together, men and women, monks and nuns, many different countries, and try to do something together that's not dependent on everybody having an opinion. And of course, the more we keep silence, the more other people don't know your opinion. But if you're paying attention, you know your opinion. And whether you have you might say good experience or bad experience, it doesn't matter. It's yours. This is not somebody's idea, not something from a book. And if you can see your experience clearly and realize, I made that, then you can discover, you can digest it, and your karma won't control you. You can use your karma well in ways that benefit everybody. But if not, even if you don't see it clearly and see, I made that, even your good karma will eventually cause suffering. So very important, Buddha reflected back on himself. He taught people reflect back on ourselves, because most of the time, all our energy's going out through our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and thinking. These are called the 6 robbers, because we attach to what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we feel, and what we think, then we're always thrown left and right. Nowadays in the world, so many people want to think I'm a victim of others. But this isn't the truth. When you think that way, when you behave that way, you're already disconnected from reality. And what we often say is, it's like cooking rice and sand together. It's not going to be very good. But when we realize, even when we have bad experiences, somehow I made this, then you're coming from reality. And it's not about blaming yourself. It's about seeing clearly what Buddha said. The whole universe created by mind alone. I made my world. You made your world. Dog made dog's world. Cat made cat's world. I don't know if you guys saw Jack, the cat, today. He stayed over this side of the building the whole day. And most of the time when you walk past, he's really not happy with 2 days of rain. And he even climbed up on the cabinet that holds the outdoor moktak. And he wouldn't go on the big side, it was so wet. But on the little side, there wasn't enough room to lay down. And he just stood there. Finally, I moved the moktak a little bit and dried it, and he laid down. But even now, it's just sitting by the doors outside here, not happy. That's his world. And some people died. That's their world. And that's what we do to ourselves. We have to understand that. It's not about good or bad. If we realize that, we return our power to ourselves. Any situation appears because of something we did in the past. That's also not good, not bad, just true. How we deal with it now determines our future life. If we don't know how to digest our experience, or are not paying attention to it, or we're blaming others for it, then we're giving away our power and we're controlled by circumstance and our karma. If you digest it, even if it's bad circumstance or bad karma, the true way appears. And you can do something that is inside freeing, and you just follow what comes from that. You know, Tanwalsini mentioned about Musangsa many times in the 70s and 80s when, at least in America, there was lots of concern about nuclear war with the Soviet Union. People would ask him questions like, what happens if there's a nuclear war? And he'd say different things. You know, one person I remember in a car once said, Sansanin, you always say keep the correct situation. Well, if a nuclear bomb falls on my city, what's my correct situation? That's when he said, die. He said, you cannot die that time. Yeah, no choice, right? Then this person says, oh, that's horrible. You know, something said, oh, only go outside. Oh, good fireworks. And he said, no, then this whole world will disappear. Then Dae said, this world not disappear. Then this man said, then what kind of world appear? And Sung San said, poison world. Then this man also went, ugh. And San said, you don't like poison world, but poison creatures like poison world. So not only are we selfish as individuals, as a country, as a religion, everything, we're even selfish as human beings. We think human being is something so wonderful and special. You know, one day we'll be gone just like every other species that appeared. But can we use this time well? Can we train ourselves to pay attention and to have a question so we see through this karmic habit of desire, anger, and ignorance, which we make? All of you just put a lot of effort in that this summer. That's fantastic. Dae used to say, many things important in this life: family, home, job, money, my body, my country. But what is most important? What am I? No matter what happens, no matter where we go, I'm there. So what is this I? And he said, how many people? 7 billion people in the world. How many people trying to find their true self? This is one of what, about 100 sampangs in Korea? Yeah. So there's many, many different sampangs. Some only nuns, some only monks, some only lay people. Maybe one monk or nun, controlling the thing. Some where the people go home at night, come back each day, especially older people. So many kinds, and in other countries too. So that's very wonderful. Buddha practiced 6 years. We're 90 days. That's not too bad, because I remember when Song San would say at the end of a 3-day retreat, Buddha practiced 6 years. We only 3 days. But there's a great saying on the side of many temples, and 2 calligraphies. And one of them says, even 1,000 years of desire turns to dust in one moment. Even 3 days of practice becomes a treasure for 1,000 years. That means you just got 30,000-year treasure. That's pretty good. But if you don't take care of it, it also turns to dust. So tomorrow is a Heije, end of retreat. We try, we don't try so much, but we're in this retreat. The retreat kind of carries us. But even if you try very strongly, tomorrow retreat's over. We all go different places. Even the Sanins have different responsibilities and so forth. So we must really make our center strong. Train ourselves to return to just now, this moment just now. How make our center strong? Decide to do something and do it. You guys decided, okay, I'm going to sit 3 months, or I'm going to come for 2 months, or 1 month, or 1 week. But you did it. That's very good. Sometimes we run away. Some people run away, and then a year or two later they come back, and then they don't run away. They stay what they decided to do. So their center's stronger. That's very important. Even if we have compassion and everything, if our center's not strong, we cannot do anything. But if only our center's strong, then we become the dictator. And dictators, their center's very strong, but their direction's not good. So also correct direction, which means clear mind. We often talk about this. Clear mind is 3 parts. Of course, it begins and ends with, what am I? Don't know. But everybody try. Then a little bit, you get a taste of this. Little bit. In interview room, in the beginning, a teacher says, ask some question, hit the floor. Or you ask me, then we hit. Then they also get done the mind. What? Why do that? That's a don't know, And then you do it. Then if we do it, one day it's yours, okay? I often say like this, you learn how to drive. You get in a car, and the teacher sits here, and the driving teacher and says, put the key in there, that's the gas, that's the brake, that's the clutch, and you steer here and shift the gear, do this, do that. Nobody's like, oh, that's your idea. I want it to come from me. I want to be original. We just follow. Then it becomes ours. We can drive. That's yours. Then kick the teacher out, not necessary. Then take the car wherever you want. So it's the same thing with practicing. Just don't think others aren't necessary, because even Buddha lived with others, okay? Even Zen Master lived with others, learn from themselves. Today everybody said thank you, and some said thank you to the teachers. I feel a little embarrassed. To me, I feel like, and I think, for decades, everything is my teacher, And life becomes you can have much more gratitude if you think that way. Yeah, somebody does something you don't like and stuff. But if I can learn from it, it's great. About 20 years ago, I was having a hard time with one of our monks. And I was living at Wagesa, and I went to Musangsa and I said, this monk makes me so angry. And Sansini burst out laughing and said, he teaching you? That was hard to swallow, but I had to admit, yep, how am I going to deal with this? And I asked him for some advice, and he gave me very good advice, and I've used it, and it worked. That means if you understand the other person's mind, you can help take away this suffering. Even if you can't help them take away their suffering, you can take away your suffering. And that helps everybody. So I hope we keep this mind that everything's my teacher. What can I learn from this? How can I become more clear? What am I holding that I have suffering now? And then if we find that and put it down, the way opens up. What's the way then? 3 things very important. First, we have to have that insight so that we hit our mind, we hit our opinion, our emotion, our body feeling, hit it. Then what? The floor's yellow, the aircon, the cat, meow. Our kimchi's quite spicy this year. The kimchi's spicy. You can see clear, hear clear, smell clear, taste clear. Everything in this world, moment to moment's the truth. This form world's changing all the time, But instead of my opinion always appearing, you can reflect it like a mirror. Mirror has no opinion. You know, your face comes in front of it, it reflects your face. You leave, it reflects the wall. I come in, it reflects my face. It's not like, I don't like your face, I want the other face. So don't forget, we call that truth. See clear, hear clear. My experience is, of course, it takes a long time to get this, but people don't see clear and hear clear anymore. The opinion appears so quickly. So we have to cut through that every time the emotion, the opinion appears. Emotions teach me something about a situation, my way of reacting to something, you know, which can be good or bad, but if I can't digest it, even a good emotion will make problems. But if you digest it, even a bad emotion will become the bodhisattva way. Wisdom will appear, and you'll be able to do something beneficial for everybody. And then third, how do you use this moment's clear mind, this moment's truth, simply reflected, correctly? Everybody knows this. Attain substance, attain what we call truth, see clear, hear clear, and then correct function. If we really keep returning to and our true nature and looking back at ourselves, then we'll begin to see, we'll begin to hear without opinion. And when opinions appear, we'll see that and we can put it down. And then wisdom starts to appear how to function. And if we don't know, only go straight, don't know. And eventually, one day, we'll learn. It's just such a treasure, you know. We have no idea what's going to happen in the outside world. Yeah. And nobody can control it. But you can learn to control yourselves and to be able to digest quickly your feeling, your condition, your opinion, and then the situation. So also one time when somebody asked Zen Master Songsan, they were at the Providence Zen Center, and the city of Providence is 20 minutes away. And he said, "Sir, if a nuclear bomb falls on Providence, I'm going to be dead, you know. It's kind of flat, and here we are 20 minutes away. The bombs now are powerful. I'm going to be dead. What can I do?" And Songsan said, "Oh, you have about 20 or 30 seconds. Go outside and say, 'Hello, mother!'" If you had a bad mother, probably not much worse than the nuclear bomb, except the nuclear bomb's effect is quicker. So anyway, here we are, blah-de-blah-de-blah, and everybody tried hard. So that's great. So don't stop. Now, what is everyday life? Heijie practice, not just formal practice. How do we keep our mind moment to moment? So thank you, everybody. Thank yourself. If you tried, you can thank yourself. If you have doubts about it, next time, maybe starting tonight, try harder. Not just doing formal practice, seeing the situation clearly and finding the correct function. Okay? So, thank you very much.